Hey everybody, good to have you back all here again. My name is Brandon Robichaud. I'm a veteran entrepreneur from the Afghanistan war veteran uh, with the global war on terrorism, and I'm here to just give my information and give some thoughts and some feedback on to my fellow veterans and to anybody else who's looking to make their own entrepreneurship journey. So what come to find for this week is definitely being able to focus correctly on things that you want to do. So I've had a lot of goals, a lot of different directions that I've been going in, and really trying to narrow everything down on really what is it that I want to do? What are my goals? What are my dreams? What's my vision for what I want to do within my community. Now, I am big on selfless service. Obviously, I wore the uniform. It's part of who I am. It's a strong characteristic of mine. And one of the things that I love to do also is emergency management. Emergency management is a very big background of mine, not just from the military, but also coming in, coming back. From my tour in Afghanistan, I went to CCRI, Community College of Rhode Island, and got my degree in emergency management under the program director, Joseph Arsenal, who at the time was the Richmond County Emergency Manager for Rhode Island, and who is now the Training and Exercise Coordinator for REMA, the Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency. So worked very closely with him. Was obviously president and senior vice president of the Homeland Emergency Management and Homeland Security Club at CCRI. Big into volunteerism. I was also did a lot with Hasbro, the toy company, Fortune 100 company. Their headquarters were based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and I was the assistant account manager for the contract security account there. I had over 80 plus officers underneath me, did scheduling, hiring, firing, training, and all that other stuff. Um, so big emergency management kind of background, higher level thinking, writing up policies and procedures, multi-year training exercise plans, and doing trainings on an individual basis as well. But what did I want to do? Right. I decided no longer that I didn't want to work the 9 to 5. Mostly because, again, as a veteran, it's very hard for things that you learned from the military to transfer over into civilian life. One of them being is that there's a different mindset on that you're kind of taught in the military through basic training, through your advanced individual training for whatever job specialty that you've had in the military, as well as leadership training, being in charge of your own unit, being in charge of your own team, going out and accomplishing missions, and then obviously getting a deployment setting as well. It's very hard for the civilian side to be able to transfer that type of information, that type of experience over in to that military experience over into the civilian. I've even had people say to me, applying to jobs with the Red Cross, where, hey, you didn't get this job because you don't have enough years of volunteerism on your resume. Doing 8 years of military service, I mean, that's considered volunteerism. It's kind of a slap in the face, as well as, being told, like, hey, you don't have any type of leadership or management capabilities. And it's like, well, don't you just see the assistant account manager position at a Fortune 100 company, Fortune 500 company, as well as being a leader within the military? So it's very kind of weird for a military member to come back and to have to either tone it down, or just things aren't translated appropriately, or kind of easy to link with the civilian side. It's been even though I deployed 2012 and 2013 to Afghanistan, it was very hard for my energy, my drive, my passion to kind of move forward and to kind of be stonewalled along the way, especially given that some of the initiatives that I have were very beneficial to the community and to the organizations that I work for. So moving past all that, finally settling in Madera County, California, Madera City. I decided that I was going to move forward on entrepreneurship, and that I wasn't going to have anybody kind of tell me what I can and cannot do no more. And then I was going to get out of that 9 to 5 kind of setting and I was going to go off and be my own boss, be my own person, and bring my own initiatives and my drive to the community in my own personal way, so that way I could be of the utmost service with what I knew that I was capable of, and also moving forward in things that I really was passionate about. So I finally found my nonprofit. It's going to be a great nonprofit for the community. I received my articles of incorporation not too long ago, as well as my city business license. Since I do not have my own building yet, my nonprofit office is actually within my house. So I needed to have a home residency license through the city, which I did receive, as well as getting my 501(c)(3) status from the IRS, claiming that I'm officially a nonprofit. From there, I did find my board of directors. I'm starting my board of directors. I'm obviously one of them. I'm the president. I'm the founder, so I'm on the starting off as the board of directors. But I'm hoping to find enough board of directors where there's a proper quorum, meaning that there's properly enough people to be able to debate and to vote on things. And usually that takes around 5 people to have a good quorum, as well as me being listed as the chief executive officer. Obviously, I am in charge of the nonprofit, I'm running the nonprofit, but I'm obviously doing this all for the community to be able to support the community in a very unique way by sponsoring a program known as CERT. That's the name of my nonprofit, CERT of Madera County, CERT. And CERT stands for Community Emergency Response Team. Now, CERT program is a FEMA sponsored program, Federal Emergency Management Agency program. And what this program does is really it educates and trains people on basically a basic level training and educational course for people on how to prepare themselves and respond and think in terms of emergency management. The best example that I use is for a house fire. The family unit obviously goes through a crisis and their own disaster, their own emergency as a house fire. But what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to think? How are they supposed to respond? How are they supposed to recover? Not a lot of people think about these things before they occur. But scientifically, it's been shown that if you do go through those mental processes, those kind of mental exercises of what are we going to do, how are we going to respond if we do have a house fire, you're 90% more likely to be able to actually survive those type of situations. So going through those types of motions and thought processes, especially at a higher level kind of thinking, but bringing it down to the individual and the family basis, helps have the family more prepared, prevention, preparedness, response, and be able to recover more quickly. Basically, overall, creating a more resilient community by having individuals basically understand what they can do for themselves in terms of emergency management. The program that I'm going to sponsor in Madera County is going to be to focusing on four demographics specifically, that being the elderly, the disabled, the low income households, and the indigenous population. These are considered probably the most at risk demographics within the population here in Madera County, but also elsewhere as well. And I believe that by basically focusing on that demographic and strengthening that chain, strengthening that link within the community will overall strengthen the resiliency of the community as well. Obviously, it is a type of a volunteer training as well. You don't expect a lot from these type of volunteers, especially the elderly, the disabled. It's more of an educational basis for them. But obviously, I'm going to mix in some younger and more capable bodied individuals. So that way there's more community involvement. The overall idea of the nonprofit is, say, you have person A who is an elderly 85-year-old and person B who is a 23-year-old who lives right down the street from each other, because they're both community members, they're both neighbors. When something occurs and something happens, such as a wildfire, or let's say the power goes out, person A, the 85-year-old who's on a ventilator, who now lost power, who's now running their power off of a generator, doesn't know and is not capable as much as to go out and just get gas. But the 25-year-old person B, who also did this CERT training with that person A, is now able to go check on that person A and be like, hey, how you doing? Do you need anything? Your generator is running out of gas. Let me go back home, get my gallon. I'll go fill it up and I'll get you some gas and hook you up. Um, Another aspect that I see in this as well is being able to do urban search and rescue. Um, there is a light search and rescue portion of the CERT program, and a lot of people don't understand what silver alerts are. So a lot of people hear a lot about amber alerts, which are child missing cases, but silver alerts are older people who have gone missing. Basically, you see most of those with people who have dementia or Alzheimer's, and I'm going to be working closely and volunteering with the Alzheimer's Association, the Fresno chapter, actually. So that way there can be more promotion about this information and education. And if there is a silver alert in Madera Urban, in the Madera City, you can call up, these volunteers, these CERT volunteers, to be able to say, hey, this person's missing. Let's go out and do a urban search and rescue for this individual. Because most of the time, unfortunately, what ends up happening is that these individuals in these older generations go missing, and the silver alerts gets out, and then it's not until it's too late, and they found most of the time that they have passed from succumb to the environment that and because with dementia and Alzheimer's individuals, they're not able to really recognize what's going on, whether they're hungry or thirsty or whatever else. So there is a lot of coordination with this program with my nonprofit that I'm hoping to get with local agencies involved. Obviously, it's going to take some time and some sponsorship, but again, day by day, it's those little steps that you take on a daily basis that lead to those giant leaps that end up coming a year from now that you look back and saying, wow, I started in December of, 2022, and it's, December of 2023, and look how far I've come for now. But obviously, that is not paying the bills at this point. I'm hoping that eventually it might pay some of the bills. I'm not really looking to become rich off of this. That's not the whole point. The point is to be of selfless service. That's what I'm really all about. Um, but the nonprofit is a side project for now. I'm really hoping to get more into grant writing. I had a lot of mentors and a lot of individuals tell me within the community that I've seen my typing style, my writing style, and the way that I'm able to process information, that I really should look into grant writing and get more involved with that. I recommend for anybody actually to look into grant writing and work on your typing skills, work on your literacy skills a little bit. That's going to help you progress, especially if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, to be able to write up your own policies, your procedures, and understand how to type very well on written emails and so forth. But grant writing is a booming business. It's a very lucrative business, actually. It takes a lot of work, though, and it takes a lot of typing and information gathering and networking, which I'm decent at. But however, there's a process to learning how to do grants, and I'm very novice in it. If you scale me on probably a 1 to 5, I'm probably about a 0.5. So, but I am still looking forward to learning more about grant writing. Grant writing, of course, is basically writing up a proposal that you send in to somebody who's going to give you a donation for money for free. Some grants require, a match, and some grants don't require a match at all. But running up a good proposal and having good demographics and good information and good variables, you get certain points rated on your proposal, and that makes you more likely for you to be able to receive the grant. So part of my nonprofit is going to be issued with grant writing. Obviously, again, that's not paying the bills. So what I am doing, and then actually I'm going to, for my license, my California license to be a licensed agent to sell life insurance. I will be working with one of the world-renowned companies called World Financial Group that sells life insurance to people. And I'm working under my senior marketing director, Fernando Mendoza. Shout out to you, bud. With like this high speed team, this very motivational, high energy, very enthusiastic, good vibes, good people out of the Fresno office. And I'm looking forward to working with them there. Now, with life insurance, I feel right in the beginning when I was doing life insurance, especially with like how some people think about money. Um, and especially when I was younger, getting all these life insurance, I knew it was important to have life insurance in case something happened to me or my wife and we passed. But sometimes people feel like, oh, it's a scam. They're just there to take your money and that's this. Well, we'll come to find out, the more information that you kind of gain about it, the more information that the better decisions you are to make. From the information that I've been gaining from this company and from basically wanting for them to look at my policies that I currently have and switch them over so I have a local agent that I can talk to. I've come to find out that, this is something that I would really want to get more information about, become more financially literate, but also be able to help people. Because there's more than life insurance than just paying a monthly, like it's not called a subscription cost, but a premium, paying a monthly premium for you to have yourself covered in case you die. And then that way there's a death benefit that goes to your family. It's much, 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 much more than that. There is an investment portion to it as well. I would encourage everybody to look up index universal life insurance. It's something that's also tied to the stock market. If you set it up correctly, it's very safe, it's very secure. There's a savings portion to it where your money grows for you. So that way, not only are you paying a monthly quote unquote subscription cost or monthly premium to have a death benefit in case something happens to you, but there is also a investment and savings portion to it as well where your money will grow with you. So getting a better understanding of that and being able to provide that type of service to individuals as well, I think would be very great for me to do because again, I'm surrounding myself physically in an office full of people with very high energy who are very financially literate and very successful. And obviously, if you surround yourself with five successful people, you will eventually become the six. If you surround yourself with five, you know, low to mid income type of people, you'll only get as far as they will. Again, that's just how it is. And also, it takes a lot for someone to develop the mindset of personal growth. And I'm also with another company called I'm Boomerang. It's a global network, global company. They provide certain products on travel and trade. That's basically what they do. And there's a mentorship and leadership portion of it as well with the specific team that I'm with. Um, that is a kind of a bit of a of a sales portion to it as well. Obviously, you can develop your own business, your own agency with that as well. But that is something that I'm leaning less towards doing, um, and really joining more for the training on the foreign exchange market. So that way I can know how to trade my money properly on the foreign exchange and basically have another asset, developing another skill for myself to be able to trade on the foreign exchange, look at graphs in the market, and be able to properly trade with reducing the risk by being more knowledgeable in trading, but also getting a little bit of mentorship and kind of training, not really training, but education and mindset difference from the Zoom calls that they offer from high level leaders, people who are millionaires and billionaires, on how to develop your own mind to be a millionaire or billionaire. Because obviously, once you have that level of success, it takes a lot to have that level of success. So, being able to be properly educated and motivated to continue to reach that level of success is very important. Um, so a lot going on. Also going to be working part time for the USDA Forest Services for hopefully the Sierra National Forest, which is not too far away from me, as well as I'm going to be getting back in uniform. I've decided that I want to get back in. I finally settled in Madeira. I got out in 2019. I think it was a bit of godsend because something was telling me to get out, even though I always wanted to be a lifer. But my family, knowing that I was going to be starting a family soon, and with everything that was going on, and again, something in me is, I think it's God. I kind of chalk it up to God telling me like, get out. And then, lo and behold, a year later, COVID hit, which if I was in the U.S. Army Reserve still while COVID hit, it would have been a lot more difficult for me to move my family and move over here to California, which is something that I always promised my wife that I would be doing. And obviously I hold up to my promises. Um, so yeah, I am going to be seeing a recruiter tomorrow, and I will be going through the paperwork and the process to then be going off to MEPS, which is basically the medical portion of being enlisted in, and I will be joining the Air Force National Guard for Fresno. And I believe, if available, I would like to be joining the emergency management portion of the Air National Guard that's available. If not, then my military occupational specialty, basically what I did in the Army, is transferable over to the Air Force as a bioenvironmental engineer, which I would be doing that because that would be an easy way for me to get my uniform, and then I would only need to go to the leadership course to keep my E5 rank, which was my sergeant rank in the U.S. Army. So, very exciting stuff. Constantly moving forward, staying very busy, on top of my schedule, on top of my calendar, always moving little directions here and there, constantly taking notes. One thing that I would definitely say to upcoming volunteers, or sorry, upcoming entrepreneurs, is you want to order a bunch of these on Amazon or get these from your local Walmart or something, because note takers are money makers. Again, note takers are money makers. This is how you just take notes constantly so you never forget anything. And then today I actually went through all my notes, about 4 days worth of notes, which was a big pile of notes. Went through everything, conglomerate, like kind of just compressed everything. I also have started a personal tracker for myself on Microsoft Word to be able to daily track everything for me, because there's a lot that goes on. You can't just focus on one thing and one thing only. There are different moving parts to many different bigger things that can all play into each other. As you just heard me say, I kind of have my nonprofit going. I have my WFG, my World Financial Group life insurance I'm studying for, as well as the iBoomerang global network, as well as me getting back into uniform. So I have a lot of moving pieces going around, but I'm busy every single day. I'm constantly busy. I'm also part of a few nonprofits. I am a part of the Veterans of Foreign War, member at large. I am not a member of my local post, but I am a member of the American Legion, and I am a member of my local post. So there's a lot of meetings that go involved with that. I'm also the charter organization rep for the local Boy Scout troop, Troop 116. Which I'm happy to do, as well as me also wanting to become a member of the Lions Club, which is their motto, "We Serve," which is a very great organization to be a part of, if you can get in. um, so looking forward to possibly getting in there, as well as meeting up with Ham Radio Club. There's a ham radio organization in Madera City. I haven't been able to really find them or get in contact with them. They're very hard, but I know there's one in Oakhurst, which is in the valley. It's about an hour away. And because the local library, I believe in the local libraries, and I believe, you know, and utilizing that resource, which I have utilized that resources immensely as I first started off here, especially with finding a quiet place to go and study and do some work and print papers and whatever else. I am going to try to be a member of the local library committee, so that way there can be more initiatives be involved by having more of the library being able to do more within the community. And also I want to be able to bring in a emergency management section to the library as well. So a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas. What you also have to remember is to prioritize these actions and these initiatives that you might have. If you have an idea, you write it down. You write it down immediately, you get it down, you get your thoughts down somewhere, and then you just take action on it. You just take immediate action on it. It doesn't matter if it's as small as making a phone call or sending out an email, excuse me, or sending out a text. or anything like that. If you have something that comes and pops in your mind, you need to take immediate action on it. Psychologists say that if that happens, you only have 5 seconds, 5 seconds to make a determination. If you don't take action within those 5 seconds of that thought that you have, then it's dead. You'll never go back to it. You'll never think of it again. It'll never happen for you. So it's very important that whatever ideas that you have, whatever goals, whatever initiatives that you might have, that you take action on them immediately. There's a reason why your brain thought of them. There's a reason why your mind said, "Hey, we should do this," and you should hop on it immediately. It's very it's not something that's very commonly done now in this day and age because everybody wants to stay safe within their 9 to 5. Everybody's told that they need to go to college, they need to get their bachelor's degree, and then after that they get a job. Um, but in reality, what reality really is that you don't even have to have a high school diploma to be successful. Now, I'm not saying that education is not important. Education is very important because I even plan on going back to school. I plan on getting my bachelor's degree because piece of paper is important to some people. But to the people who know that it's really what's your drive, what's your initiatives, what's your goals, what kind of experience that you have, and how willing are you to learn new things is really what makes you more profitable, what makes you more coachable, what makes you more of a asset to the community or to the company or to whatever that you're doing. Because you have to be open to learning new things, but you have to have the drive also to be able to learn those new things. And that's what entrepreneurship is. Elon Musk didn't know everything about rockets. He just was like, this is what we need to do. This is my goal. And he went out and he figured it out along the way. Same thing with Tesla. Same thing with everything else. Same thing with Jeff Bezos. I mean, look at Jeff Bezos, and obviously I'm using these examples because everybody knows these names and everybody's seen these people. But these are true entrepreneurs. They didn't know what to do in the beginning. They just figured it out. And then they were humble enough to realize and know that they could constantly improve. They can constantly get better. They can constantly learn new things. There's constant variables that are changing in and out, especially within today's technology. What you have to keep that open and in mind is that if you set something up and you don't change it and it doesn't change within a week, you're killing your business. You're really destroying yourself, because you need to constantly be adaptable and learn to be able to be open, everything else. So one thing that I think I want to do again is go over is do a kind of board. If I can find I don't know if I have my if I can find the whiteboard. I got my pen out ready to go. Let me type it in here, my apps, whiteboard. There it is, Microsoft Whiteboard. And then I'm going to do a screen share. Because again, I think this is a very important concept for everybody to know and understand. Because it's very important for there we go. So it's very important that people recognize how to think about yourself, right, as an entrepreneur. Um, because you're going to have a lot of people come at you. You're going to have people that say, "Hey, you're nuts, you're crazy, you don't know what you're doing." And it really doesn't matter. What really matters is not the outside, but the internal and what's going on with you. Okay. So some of you may have already seen this from me. Oh, I'm blue today, huh? Okay. But I like to use this triangle. Okay, this is real entrepreneurship. Okay, so you start your own business, and you see the CEO, right? And CEO stands for Chief Executive Officer. you're the boss, right? You are the chief executive officer, you're the owner, you're the person who's really making the decisions for yourself. Okay. So as you continue within the entrepreneurship type of way that you're doing things, you have to understand that the first business that you have isn't whatever articles of incorporation or title of business that you have, right? Sturt of Madera County isn't my first business. What first business is, the first business is you. It really starts with you. You are your business. You are your business, right? You are your business. That's what you are. You are your business. So the first thing that you need to realize is that your business is you first. So you are your CEO. Okay. All right. So you're in charge of you. You're in charge of your mindsets. You're in charge of your thoughts. You're in charge of your actions. You're in charge of everything that you do. Well, who do you employ? As you employ yourself, right? So you are also your employee. You are your employee. Okay. So not only are you right, you are your own boss, but you are your own worker. You employ yourself. You employ yourself to be able to do what you need to do, to think in the right terms, to be able to develop a new skill and develop new ways of doing things. So that way you can continue to do what you need to do. Your CEO to an employee is important. It's an important relationship to have, and this is an important mindset for you to have, because you look at some of these great entrepreneurs and these great business owners. They always talk about compassion. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm not spelling this right. Probably not. I don't think there's two S's. Is there a no? Oh, what happened here? Sorry. Usually eraser. There we go. Right. Better yet, instead of using the word compassion, this one's better. Come on. Empathy. Yeah, that's right. Not showing sympathy, but showing empathy. And there's a difference between the two. And I posted up a video on my LinkedIn profile, I think, from a TED Talk that I really enjoyed the difference between sympathy and empathy. And if you don't know the difference, go ahead and look it up. I can't tell you everything, but really, as the CEO to the employee, you are in charge of showing yourself empathy, of showing, and that goes for when you are a CEO and a leader and you actually have employees underneath you, not just, being you in charge of your own business, right? You are your CEO of yourself and you employ yourself. As the CEO, it's very important for you to show empathy to yourself, to say, good job, you're doing great. What else do you need to do? Hey, what's going on with you? Hey, how's the feeling going? All right, if you need some time off, you take some time off. It's really important you be empathetic for yourself and you really take good care of yourself, because that's going to help you keep going. That's going to help you make sure that you have the right mindset, you have the right goals, and that you still have the right energy. But also, again, a lot of great owners, a lot of great leaders, a lot of great CEOs say that it's not, if you don't take care of the customer, you take care, as a leader, as a CEO, you take care of the employee. You show empathy and compassion to your employees, because then your employee will take care of the customer. And obviously, out of the first business, which the first being you, who's the customer? It's you. You know, this is true, right? Again, if you really want to get into entrepreneurship, your first business isn't going to be whatever title, article of incorporation, whatever you file with the state, whatever title you file, whatever, license you file. That's secondary. Your first business is always going to be you first. You need to be in charge of you, because you are your business. You are your business. So you are your own CEO. You're your own CEO. You're your own boss. You employ yourself. And it's important that you show empathy to yourself, so that way you can take care of the customer, which is again you. Okay. So it's a bit of a circle, but I always like to use a triangle in this type of information and demographic. A lot of information that would be good is just to look up, leadership, personal development type of pages. One that I like, obviously, iBoomerang goes with Bob Proctor a lot, which is a really good one. Bob Proctor does talk about self-development, about how to develop a mindset, talks about frequency, talks about the laws of the universe, laws of attraction, laws of gestation, which are very true physical, like physic type of things. And it really does help. I can personally attest to that as well. Bob Proctor is a good one, but honestly, go on LinkedIn, start a LinkedIn profile if you don't want to have one. Obviously, you should start a LinkedIn profile if you are trying to be your own entrepreneur and start your own business. But start looking up leadership courses, mindset courses, or mindset pages. I'm sorry, leadership pages and mindset pages. They'll have daily posts. And so as you scroll through, you'll see these, pictures with sayings in them, stuff about empathy, stuff about how to treat your employees, stuff about how to focus on you, how to personally develop on you, how to give yourself, some wriggle room, how to really start thinking about different things. Start looking up Bob Proctor. Maybe start looking up other individuals that were trained by Bob Proctor or were motivated by Bob Proctor. Really, it starts with you starting to develop a mindset of what you can do, because nobody tells you, everybody's going to tell you you can't, and you shouldn't listen to them, right? The only person that can tell you what you can and cannot do is you. That's it. That's what it comes down to. Nobody else can stop you from doing anything else. Not your friends, not your family, not your wife, not your kids, not anybody. Nobody. The only person that's stopping you from going out and doing what you want to do and what you want to achieve is you. That's it. And another thing is money. Okay. Start developing a financial literacy for yourself. Start developing on how you can create multiple assets for yourself. So that way, money becomes almost secondary. And what really becomes you is primary, and then your secondary business. And then the money's going to come. The money's going to come. But it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's not going to be easy. Nobody says it's going to be easy. But life isn't easy to begin with. It's the journey that really makes it more special, you know. So I'm glad that everybody could join. I hope you all enjoyed um today's kind of presentation. I know I kind of wasn't there. It's not the regular time, but again, the more that I do these, the more that gets out, the more YouTube channels, more short videos, the more that I'm going to get better, the more I'm going to be able to understand myself, and as well as you're going to be able to be along with this journey with me, and you're going to see different changes in yourself as like how I've seen different changes as me. And I hope this also motivates you to get out there and start your own YouTube page, your own TikTok channel, or whatever else that you may have, and then you just starting your own business. Because really it's small businesses and nonprofits and everything else like that that really makes the economy run, not these large, Walmart, Walgreens, anything like this. No, it is really up to me and you on starting our own businesses, so that way we can make the world keep going round and round. Well, as I always say, have a great day, everybody. I hope my battles, my fellow veteran entrepreneurs, you're out there, you're seeing me with my personal courage, and just let you guys know, I always got your six. I always got your six battles. Have a great night, everybody.